Hello, friends. We are live. Welcome to AI Shortcuts to Work Smarter. I'm Madeline Sklar. Welcome. Today, we're going to be talking about helpful AI tips, tricks, and advice that will help you work smarter, not harder. I've collected a variety of things for us, but I've got like some really good ChatGPT tips and tricks. The thing is to keep in mind, a lot of these will apply to other LLMs, large language models. So you can apply this to a lot of others. So it's not just for ChatGPT, but the ones that I'm going to show y'all today were created specifically for that. My goal is just to help you work smarter, not harder, when it comes to your business and everyday life. In this AI world we're in, is wild how much is changing at the moment. It is growing so much at a rapid speed. That's why we come together, because we just try to stay on top of it all and learn from each other. I'm always finding interesting tools or new ways to use my AI, and I like to just come on here and share what I'm doing. If you're new here, welcome. This is a weekly live stream that we do. We just come hang out. It's casual. I'll bring my friends up on stage in a moment. I help creators and entrepreneurs get more done with their AI to help boost their productivity without being so overloaded. I feel like we're all on overload. And if you ever need any help with your digital marketing or AI, I've been in digital marketing the last 30 years. I've been really immersed in AI since it all really started becoming a thing a handful of years ago. And I'm able to assist and help. If you need some guidance, you need some support, just need somebody to hold your hand, I can help you get things done quicker and easier. So just reach out, let me know, and we'll set up something. And this live stream is brought to you by my AI Shortcuts to Work Smarter school community. I'll show that up on the screen in just a moment, but that's where we continue these discussions beyond this hourly hangout on social media. Let me bring up our panelists that are here with us today. Hello, everybody.
Howdy.
Good to see you all on this Thursday. Thursday got here quick. Seemed like we just did this, didn't it?
Yep.
Or is that just me? It feels like we were just here.
Well, and March is already almost halfway over, which is crazy.
I know.
So nuts.
It's like, what's going on? Everything is so fast. It's hard enough just trying to keep up with all this AI stuff, but everything's at lightning speed. Isn't it funny how every time like ChatGPT or the new Nano Banana 2 or like one of these things, like all of a sudden, okay, here's the new version. And we look at it, you might try it. And then all of a sudden, a day or two later, well, now there's another one of the other ones that just launched. And it's like this constant game. Drives me nuts. I mean, how are y'all keeping up with it? I just, social media, like between X and TikTok, it helps me, and a little bit of YouTube, but mostly I find videos and discussions on TikTok and X. What about you all?
It can be
I'm
overwhelming.
I'm a ChatGPT pundit. I'm sorry. I didn't flood away because I spent so much time building my persona on there and using projects and so forth. And it really came home to me yesterday, the why behind that, because of just what what my areas were. And it actually just, I came in and told it, I'm on my third cup of coffee. I need to wake up. Help. That's all I had to say. and, pulled in the news, told me, which community, my ballooning community was, my live streaming community or whatever. And I thought, not every, that's an area where it really does help. And you don't feel like you're interrupting your loved ones or whatever to bother them for answers. It was just right there. And I thought,
Right.
yes, it can hallucinate because I do follow the news headlines, but so can I. And
That's a good point. We all can.
I've always been it's, oh well, she's blonde, because I just get way out there at times. But the
Can I
thing
add
is,
something real quick?
sure.
Hi,
You
Maria.
just met. Hi, everybody. I'm so sorry. My picture's not up there. I'm between things. But
That's okay.
Barb just said that word hallucinating. So I couldn't stand it. I had to share with you guys. I'm drinking my mushroom tea.
Oh, God.
I keep promising my family that it's not the same. I keep waiting for the hallucinations,
Different kind of
and they're
mushroom.
not happening.
A different kind of mushroom.
Yes.
I had
Good morning.
I had my mushroom gummies this morning trying to get some energy. I just feel so tired and run down with the weather changing so drastically and the daylight savings. But it's not going to stop me from being here. But that
Yes.
sounds interesting, Maria.
Great.
Yeah, I follow Ruben Hassid, Hassid, on Substack, and he's actually #1 in education right now on there. But he provides all these free guides and stuff on AI. He's really, really smart. And then I'm in your community. I love what you share, so I end up going down that YouTube rabbit hole. But I think for me, I've become more intentional of every day I'm spending some time learning, because like I just went ahead and dropped the $20 for Claude and starting to use that a little bit more. But I still have ChatGPT, like we talked about, Madeline. I still like Atlas, and it's funny because I did something yesterday where the end result was I updated my LinkedIn banner using a combination of Atlas and Nano Banana and Canva, because
Oh,
I had
wow.
to take the little watermark off of the Nano Banana.
Yep.
But I didn't like what Nano Banana was giving me at first. So by going to Atlas and having it look at my
Yes.
my actual profile and said, give me a banner where this is what it focuses on as far as my message, because I knew it needed to be cleaned up anyway. And so I was happy with how the end result. And then it was funny because then I took that and I resized it in Nano Banana. So then I was able to bring it into Canva at the right size and do the little, get rid of the little diamond
That's
at
so
the bottom
cool.
right.
Yeah, I know. It drives me nuts, that little diamond watermark. So you mentioned something so awesome. So, I've been using that ChatGPT Atlas browser for quite a while now, and I was slow going because, I've been using Chrome forever, and I still use both, but I'm catching myself. Like when I get on my computer first thing, I open up the Atlas browser and I just try to make myself use it. And I've been doing this for months now. I absolutely love it. And to your point, like, it can see your screen. It can see what you're looking at. So I wanted to look at something. I don't have to go take a screenshot or do these other steps. I can literally just pull it up. And when you're in the Atlas browser, there's a button at the top right that where you just literally tap on it and it will open up ChatGPT. And then you can, like, I'll say, hey, take a look at my screen here, and I'll prompt it to, like what you did. And I think that's so cool. To me, it's been such a time saver. But one thing, and I'll talk about more later when we talk about ChatGPT projects, is that because I rely on it to look at my screen so much, it's not going to retain all that. It's in that chat you're having.
Mhm.
But if you wanted to save those details for other chats, even in the same project folder, you got to go put them as documents in the project source. And I wasn't really doing that. Most times it'll be, I have a YouTube video up and ChatGPT can read the transcript and I'll just ask it questions or get a summary or whatever. But then I was working on a project where I wanted to retain the transcripts of one of my other live streams so that it has all that knowledge from all these weekly chats, and it can, when I'm talking to it, it'll be more robust. And I actually was asking ChatGPT, I'm like, because I was prompting it something and it couldn't remember. I'm like, we just had this discussion last week and we're in the projects folder. Why aren't you remembering? And that's where we got into this discussion, me and my ChatGPT, about things that you want it to retain long term, make into some kind of document, a PDF, whatever, text file. And in the project folders, you can add sources. And you can add all kinds of things as sources. So I've been experimenting with that, and I'll definitely report back to see. Have any of y'all done that, where like you utilize the sources in the project folders?
I need to do that. I need to. I haven't.
I will say this. I don't know if you have tried this, Madeline, but I asked it. I said, if I get you the link to the chat, can you get it? And it could. So I had to tell it where to go. And so if I had that, then I was okay. And actually, I gave it 3 links at one time. And I said, I know things have changed since I did this. Can you update them? And it did.
Wow.
Just like that. And as you know, I have all these domains to get rid of and stuff. I had the most, yesterday, chat just really shined because I went to a website that I had all this content on. And I thought, well, I know I can use, because I've been using the Microsoft Edge browser because I could open up the Copilot chat to tell me what was on there. But with ChatGPT, asked me just to give the link to that page, and so I put several links. They were different. It was like a directory of areas, and so different cities. And so I put those links to each of those in that one, session with it, and it went and built everything out. It was just mind-blowing. Said, no, this has been, because I was in economic development. Okay, so there has to be new stats. If my last stat was like 2022. And so it pulled it out, gave me the references, because the kind of people I'm talking to, they're going to want to know where that came from. And it did all of that at the end. And I was like, wow. And it, in a whole website.
Very cool.
It was cool, but it was frightening because I thought, geez, there's people making their living on these things every day.
Yeah.
It's like lightning. I used to get, 20, 30,000 on a website project.
Yeah.
Don't do that anymore.
Well, when it comes to these AI tools, the more we put into it, the better the output and what it's going to do for us. And I think it's just important. I try to keep that in the back of my mind when I'm using it. And I've got some really cool tips, videos about all that. Let's go ahead and kind of dive into everything. And, we have our AI Shortcuts to Work Smarter community over on School, free to join. If you have not joined us over there yet, just takes a moment to sign up. You can just use my slick bit.ly link, bit.ly/Madeline School, and come hang out with us over there. We have lots of great discussions. Plus, on Fridays, I do a special 1-hour live stream that's only in there. You can't access it here, on social media like we do. It's only available over there. So come join us. We always have a lot of fun just chatting about whatever, demoing things, answering questions. It's really about like what you all want to talk about. So I'm going to start with an interesting video. Last week we were talking about this mass exodus people are doing from ChatGPT to Claude, right? That's been the big news. All these people are leaving. We had an interesting discussion about it here. And, for me personally, I'm not going to just quickly leave when I'm getting so much value. I'm trying to set politics aside. I had to do that with X. We went through that several years ago, and some people didn't like that I stayed on. And it's like, I understand, and I feel so much the same way, but I still get value here. Plus, I've built, a big presence, even though it doesn't feel that big anymore because the engagement sucks on X. But I'm just not like wanting to give that up completely when I'm still finding some value. It's not the same, but there's still something. And so I kind of apply that same logic to this whole ChatGPT to Claude. I don't like all the things that were happening. I don't like the politics of it all. But do I want to just take all these years of all this data that ChatGPT has with me and move it over? And I think it's great for people that feel strongly that want to do that. What I like showing you all is that there are ways to do that. And the thing is, there's different ways to take your data from one to the other, but it's really more of a lesson in you can move from one to another. Like sometimes I kind of look at Claude. This is before this whole thing recently. It's like I have, friends, business colleagues that just all they do is talk about how great Claude is and all the great things they're having to do for them. And it's like, ooh, that sounds cool. And it's something I can't do in ChatGPT. So it makes me kind of wonder, like, should I move over? But then I have Magai, and Magai has all of those, and Claude's in there. So it's like, do I want those specific features you only get on the native app? Like with ChatGPT natively in there, which you're not going to get anywhere else, is that ability to talk to it like a person. Magai has a version of it, but it's different. But with ChatGPT, the way it has the project folders, but also I have to remind myself on Magai has the same thing. They just call it workspaces. But it's not just for ChatGPT. You have it for all the different LLMs. So it still makes sense for me with my current tech stack is to keep my ChatGPT Plus account and my Magai account, and I get the best of all worlds there, because right now I just want to use Claude for some writing stuff. And it's like, do I need to pay $20 for it? Well, do I want Claude Co-work? Isn't that the one, Co-work? That's the one a lot of people are talking about right now.
Yes.
I think it's what it's called. But then I just saw Dustin from Magai, he does a weekly webinar talking about a variety of things, and he was just answering somebody's question and saying that you can actually do some of the same things, because really like projects folders, it's projects. And he was answering a question. Cindy Lou, oh my gosh, we haven't seen you in ages.
Hello. I know. I think it's been almost a year.
It's been a while. Hello from the future
Long
in New
time.
Zealand. What time is it over there in New Zealand?
It is 6:23 a.m.
Ooh, that's
on
early.
Friday
Oh my
morning.
goodness. Hi.
Hello to Friday, the future. Good to see you. We've missed you.
Yeah, I've definitely been missing y'all, and I'm glad to be back.
Awesome. What was new with you? Like, you were working on a book.
Yeah, still working on the book. It's almost done and ready to be uploaded soon. I still need to finish the layout and stuff, but that's almost done. Working on learning eCam.
Nice.
So, and helping people with the production side of techie stuff like Zoom or StreamYard or eCam.
Yeah.
So doing classes and things. And
Oh,
then
cool.
I'm also going to be doing tutorials for a brand new platform for the Judaic community that a friend
Okay.
of mine has created from her creations. So a lot
I was
happening.
about to say, you got lots going on.
Yeah.
I feel honored that you're coming and spending some time with us, on such an early morning for you and all the stuff you're doing. So, but it's great. It's always great having you here.
It's always great to be here.
So we're talking about some ChatGPT stuff. I'm going to play. There's a video I'm going to play just of like walking through the process for those that want to move from ChatGPT to Claude. But again, it's also for those that just want to move from one to the other, because they're also similar with how you do it. And I'm going to be doing some experiments where I want to take the vast knowledge that I have over at ChatGPT and see, can I move it over to a free native Claude account, or will it work well? And then I'm also experimenting with moving it over to Magai. So if I'm using Claude or some of the other LLMs inside of Magai, that it has all that knowledge, and just see where that goes. But let me start with this first video for us to watch. So let me get it ready.
There are steps that most people miss when closing out their ChatGPT account. So before you close that account, here's exactly what you need to do. Hi, I'm Jamie with Tech in Her Step, and this is AI for You and I, a series that makes AI simple and actually useful. Here's how you do this. Step 1, before you touch anything, go to ChatGPT, ask it to summarize what it knows about you. Here's why you're going to want a summary in addition to your chat history. Think about it. Your chat history is thousands of messy conversations, random questions, half-finished ideas. The summary is the good stuff, already distilled. Who you are, how you work, what you need. And this summary can easily be moved to any AI chatbot of your choosing. You can use this prompt to get that summary. Go ahead and screenshot this now. Now copy the summary response into a document. You're going to need that when you move over to your new AI chatbot. Oh, and that summary, you can actually review it and edit it if you need to. Step 2, Now you're going to download your entire chat history, and it's going to be your personal backup. You're going to go to Settings, Data Controls, Export Data. You're going to get an email from OpenAI with a link to download that file. You may never have to open it, but if you need to reference a very specific conversation, it's going to be there. When you download your chat history, make sure you save it somewhere safe. Step 3, cancel your subscription if you're on one of the paid plans. And the final step, delete your account and say bye-bye to ChatGPT. Your data should be wiped from their servers within 30 days. That's it. Make sure you save this video so you don't forget the proper steps of saying goodbye to ChatGPT.
That's one of the best videos I've come across explaining it because, most people are just saying, just go download your data. Well, if you've been using it a long time and you're a power user, it's going to be a big file, could be some issues, but it's like, there's a variety of things you can do to just get that full picture. But I want to do these steps because I like to have a backup just to have. Have any of y'all done that? I'm curious how big that file is going to be.
What I did was create a blog that's not available to the public, and I put copies of the results. I literally, because I've been doing websites for so long, then I have a main topic matter, and like I write a lot of books because I give it that command because it gives me so much structure to work with. And so they could actually be books. I mean, there's probably 300 or so of them, that could be books. That's how I put it together. But that's how I did it. I made sure I had the links right away from the get-go, but then I'm an old beta tester, so I know how to do things.
Yeah, my friend Christopher said he downloaded all of his ChatGPT and put it into Magi. That is cool. Christopher, when did you do that? And if you, I'd love to hear like how that's worked out for you, because that's one of the things I want to play around with and see. Anyway, I just thought that was helpful. There's another video, Dan Martell, who I just love, and he has his version. And some of these are similar, some are not, but I just like to get as much information so I can figure out what is the best method for me. So let me play this one for you.
Here's how you can switch from ChatGPT to Claude in 3 easy steps. Number 1, you got to load up ChatGPT and make sure that you're in your account. Next, give it this exact prompt. It has everything: your personal context, communication style, working projects, everything. If you want it, just comment switch below and I'll send it over to you so you can just copy and paste it. Once you do that, you'll get a system prompt. This is a detailed instruction that tells the AI how to interact with you. Now we go over to Claude, go to your profile, copy and paste the system prompt that it generated earlier. Click Save Changes. Now check this out. If I ask it, who am I and how do I like to be communicated with? It'll say, you're Dan Martell, CEO of Martell Ventures. I have a passion for AI and building businesses. I like things to be concise and to the point. It's got everything. Now you're not stuck with just ChatGPT. You can use this for any AI model.
Yeah, I love that. Because yes, we can use this for any of these models, but I specifically want to gather all that data and put it into Magi to see how will it work over there, and so that way when I'm changing from, I could do Gemini, I can do Claude, I can do any of those other LLMs. It'd just be interesting to see how well that works. And if I'm having any issues, I always know I can reach out to Dustin at Magi because he'll have a workaround. And that's why I love how they have a Facebook community, a Facebook group. Although I did tell him you really should do school. But he does have a really vibrant Facebook group and he answers questions all the time. He's very accessible. All right, Christopher says it was pretty straightforward and now I have those chats in Magi. I'll do it again with Claude. I used too many. I downloaded the file from ChatGPT and uploaded. That's awesome. Yeah. I think that's something everybody should, at minimum, whichever of these LLMs you use the most, get a downloaded file just as a backup. You never know.
Hey, Madeline, I just logged into my ChatGPT and I have a Plus account also. Mm-hmm. And do you know that over on the left on the bar, in the sidebar, it actually has export chat as an option directly there, but mine is shaded out. I mean, it's a non-clickable link.
Where on the sidebar? Like you have to go at the bottom and click your name?
At the left, it's right down. When you actually, the default, when you come in, it's on the first page, and it has my profile image, and right under it, it says export chat, but it is actually grayed out. It's non-clickable.
But it's on your sidebar when you actually go into ChatGPT before,
Yeah.
like, it's just not in the settings? Because I don't see it on mine.
And that is bizarre.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I'm definitely logged in.
No, because like when I open up ChatGPT, I see, new chats, search chats, images. Is it at the top where you see that?
No, it's at the bottom. It starts out new chat, search chat, images, apps, deep search, codecs. And then it has the different GPTs on there, like
Right.
if you have, and then your projects,
Right.
your chats, all of that. But you have to scroll up to get all of that detail to come out. And I mean, but the thing that stays constant is your profile
Right.
at the bottom, and then right underneath your profile is export chat, but it's
I don't
grayed
see that
out.
on mine. That's so interesting. So you're saying at the
Wow.
bottom left below where it has your name.
I don't care if you want me to screen share it, I will. I mean, I don't care if you see inside there, but it
I'm
is
just curious because
definitely.
I don't see it on mine. I think with mine, I have to actually go into the settings to get
And
to
I'm not
that.
seeing my little setting cog this morning.
Yeah,
That is bizarre.
so for me to get to export, so this is good. This lets you export data. I mean, even though it's grayed out, but it's on the sidebar, is what you're saying.
Mhm.
Whereas normally, in the way mine still does it, and I'm on the plus, the $20 a month, on the desktop, bottom left, you click on your name, and you go to settings,
Yeah,
and then you
I
go to
don't
data,
have settings.
and you go to data controls, and at the bottom of data controls, there's export data.
Wow.
So that's interesting. I wonder if they're moving it to make it easier. Although you think they wouldn't, because they don't want to make it too easy to do for all the people that are leaving. So I don't know.
The other day I was able to get to it directly, the settings, very easily, and I never saw that done.
Interesting.
The export chat directly under the name. But what is I don't get too excited because it's beta. Hi, Tony. So
Hey, Tony.
He's one of our fellow StreamYard users. I don't know if he's still using StreamYard, but he's a Babylonian, we used to call us. Another one that connected from there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Next up, I'm going to play. That's interesting. Thanks for. I guess we'll look out for that. Oh, Pip made an appearance. Hey, Pip. Hi, Pip. Oh, he looked right when I said his name. Pip.
Yeah, do it again.
He loves to come on here. I think he likes my voice.
I think so too.
Because when I say his name, he looks right at the camera.
And he's literally just sitting himself down so he can watch.
Hi, Pip.
So cute.
I tell you, seeing him, Pip, is really making me yearning for a kitty cat now.
He is the sweetest. I mean, everybody loves their pets, right? But I've had cats like literally my whole life, and he is a gift from the universe. I've never had a cat like this.
They do exist. I know that for sure. But my
he
corgis
loves watching. So
corgis would eat Pip up.
Aww.
I love that you post pictures of him on your Substack, with all your other business stuff. I think I love that. People love that realness, when we put stuff out that are not just buttoned up business things.
Yeah, and I think it's important. I mean, he has so much personality, so why not share him? Like, share the love,
He's so photogenic. I mean, when you have these photos on your Substack, I'm like, every photo's amazing.
Thank you. I'd probably take 30 or 40 just to get one.
But they're always good. They're
They're
always good.
He's
gone. Okay. Next up is an interesting video. And again, these can all apply to other things. This is because, again, Claude is in the news so much and everybody wants to go move. So a lot of of the AI experts are posting videos with, tips and tricks and stuff. This one is how to avoid the usage limits on Claude. But this also applies like for ChatGPT and others, because, if you're using free, you can only do so much, and then you got to wait it out until it resets. If you're doing the paid, you can do more, but there's still a limit. They're not always very clear what the limits are. I remember when that whole advanced voice audio started on ChatGPT, where you can just talk to it like a person. In the beginning, if you were on the free account, it cut you off after 10 minutes and you had to wait a month. I'm like, so that's why I paid $20 a month ever since then, because I want to be able to talk to it. But then I pay the $20, and I went through their terms of service. I went through their FAQs. It doesn't specifically tell you what the limitation is. I even asked ChatGPT. I'm pretty sure I did it live here on our live stream once. And I asked it, I'm on the Plus account, like, how much can I talk? And it gives you this like not clear answer, because they don't tell you. And so in the past, I've tried pushing it to see, well, how long can I just have this back and forth conversation using the audio feature in ChatGPT? And one time I got all the way to, I want to say about an hour, or maybe at least 45 minutes, but maybe close to an hour. And then it finally stopped me. It's like, you've reached your usage limit for the day. You can just switch to text. But of course I have whisper flow, so I can just press the button and just talk through whisper flow and just doing the text, the voice to text. But it was interesting to see like how far could I go with my $20 a month plan. And then it just resets the next day. So if I wanted to talk to it as a person, I had to wait, for that reset. So, those that are power users, you probably from time to time run into these usage limits. Do y'all? I rarely do. Do y'all ever run into that with any Magai, ChatGPT, Claude, any of these tools?
I almost ran into it that day I was playing around with the Lyria, and because it created the video using VO, it told me I could only make like 2 more videos that day.
Yeah.
But if I'm just using Nano Banana, I haven't come across that yet, where it's like said, oh, you've reached your limit. And of course, I've got the paid version through my Google Workspace. I don't really know if there is a limit, but I guess I just haven't gone crazy with usage, so I don't feel like I've approached anything like that. But I have noticed the talk about with Claude, like there is some limit, but then I'm seeing these videos about you create these they're text files, but they're using a .md ending, and that like allows you to do more, because it's kind of like you're not having to repeat, this is what I sound like. It is using that as like your basis.
Yeah. Well, I think the reason why this video I'm getting ready to show you was put out is because I think it's easy to think that they all have the same usage limits, and they don't. They're different from platform to platform. And even when I'm using Magai, for those that use Magai, my favorite all-in-one AI tool, let me put that up on the screen. If anybody is not familiar with it, you definitely want to go check that out. Go to Magai, magai.co/Madeline. You can even get a discount on it. But what I like about it, when I'm in Magai and I look at the different LLMs, I pick which one I want to use for a chat, Dustin has in there like the usage multiplier. So like which ones are the more expensive, where you use up those usage credits quicker than others. And I always find that helpful, because sometimes I want to play with doing images or videos. And those newer ones that come out, like when VO2 came out, oh my God, it was a huge multiplier. You're going to burn through it. You can always buy more, but you need to pay attention to your usage limit, so you're not caught off guard and all of a sudden you like either have to wait for it to reset or top it off. But let me play this interesting video, because this lady talks about how to avoid hitting the usage limit when you're going from ChatGPT to Claude, since it's a bit different. But again, this can apply to the other LLMs. I think you'll find it interesting.
So you've moved over to Claude from ChatGPT, and now you keep running into the pesky usage limits. Here's 4 things you can do to avoid that. 1, use Sonnet or Haiku instead of Opus. Opus is the deep thinking model. It burns through your usage 3 to 5 times faster. 2, start new chats. Let's just say you started a conversation with Claude 2 days ago and you already have 100 messages in that chat. When you ask the next question, it goes through and reprocesses the previous 100 messages. It does this every time you ask a question in that chat. So the longer threads eat up so much more of your limit. 3, if you are deep into a long session, ask Claude to summarize that session. Start a new chat and paste that summary in. You can pick up right where you left off. 4, use projects. It's basically a folder of files that Claude can reference for your chat. For example, if you're applying for jobs, put multiple versions of your resume into that project and Claude can pull the right one based on the job description. That stops you from having to upload files constantly into the chat. So you've moved over to.
So what do y'all think? That's like some really good tips.
Yeah, after
That's
one
great.
of your live streams, I started using projects because I was just opening new chats each time. But I created projects for whatever it is that I'm working on, and it's so easy to find and organize and pull
Yes.
that. And
I use them like crazy now. I tell you,
Yeah.
that is like my favorite thing in ChatGPT, but Claude has it too. She just showed on the screen that and in Magi, it's just called workspaces.
Yeah.
So it's so helpful because it's a great way to organize your things. And so I have really like totally changed how I organize stuff in ChatGPT now. And I'm applying it to Magi since I've been using. Now that Magi has their version 3, it's still in beta. Not everybody has it yet, but since I got early access, sometimes it pays to know the person in charge. I love Magi even more because the interface is so clean, it's so much easier, feels less cluttered. And it's like, oh, I need to start using the workspaces function because it's just like ChatGPT projects. But speaking of ChatGPT projects, that's actually the next video I want to show you with tips on that. The key is to learn how to use these tools to the maximum so that way you get the most benefit out of it. And that's what I've been really trying to do is really dive further into like these types of tip videos. So I really understand like how do all these things work. And ever since I've really started utilizing the projects feature in ChatGPT, it's like night and day. Just like earlier when I mentioned, oh, I can go a step further and start putting some of these important transcripts or information into the source of the project. And I knew that was a feature, but I didn't realize how valuable that was for some of the things I'm doing until I couldn't access some things. I'm like, oh, so like, okay, now that's becoming part of my workflow. And that's why I share it with you all, because might be some people here that didn't even know about this. But yeah, let me play this video on ChatGPT projects, but Claude has projects too.
If you don't use projects in ChatGPT, you're using it wrong. And if you do use them, you're probably still using them wrong. Here's what I mean. I was in Gemini once and asked about pasture-raised eggs. It responded with, "It's great to connect again, Kevin. Given your eye for detail as a content creator and your interest in health and fitness, it makes total sense that you're digging into the nuances of egg quality. That's not helpful. That is just nonsense. I don't want my question about eggs bleeding into context from every other conversation I've ever had. Projects in ChatGPT fix this. Gemini still doesn't offer this, they need to step up their game. But when you set these up, you can use the setting to make each project siloed, so it only remembers context from chats within that project. I have one for health, one for finances, one for content creation, on and on. The right context in the right place every time. But the real superpower is what you can add to each project. Upload reference files, and every chat in that project has access to them automatically. For my writing project, I uploaded a couple of my scripts, so it understands my style. You can also set custom instructions for each project, how you want ChatGPT to respond, what it should know. You can even set it up as a mini automation. But my writing project has a list of banned words and phrases that ChatGPT defaults to, but I find annoying. There's tons of ways to customize this. You set it once, never think about it again. So take the time to set up your projects properly. It completely changes how you use ChatGPT.
That's like great advice.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things, like one of those little things we don't hear about much. But then now that I've just been spending so much more time trying to organize things, it's like, oh my God, this is so valuable. And then I see videos like that and it's like, oh, I got to share that with everyone because everything he said was so helpful. Because sometimes I run into a situation where I'm having this chat and I'm like, why is it referencing something from a separate project? And so sometimes I get into it with chat and I'm like, this has nothing to do with this discussion. It's even like a whole different business thing. Why are you? And it's done it a few times now. And it's like, okay, I really need to get some specific information to the source of that project. So it'll stop doing that. So yeah, Gabe, we're live. You're here with us live. Welcome. Welcome to the chat. So does this get you more interested in utilizing the project feature? Because I mean, I'm so glad I started really using it a lot. I love it. Because what I find with me, it makes me like using these tools even more. I feel like I'm getting so much more out of it. Now, let me show you another really cool feature. I knew it could do this, but I didn't understand why it would do it sometimes in ChatGPT and not. And I didn't realize I could just turn it on. So I'm just always just this constant learner. So this is really cool. It's a specific thing in ChatGPT called Canvas. I think what happened was when it came out last year, I just didn't quite understand what it was. But now that I've really just, try to understand these features better, this is a great feature.
There's an extremely underutilized feature in ChatGPT. It's down under this plus button. Then you have to go down to more. Then you click on Canvas. Or I never really use it this way. At any point, just say create this in Canvas in the chat, and it will open up into this editable document with the prompt box on the side. You can ask for changes, and it will scan through the text and modify it. You can manually edit the text yourself, or you can highlight specific sections and prompt for changes to just that part, like convert this to a table. And down in the lower right, there's also quick options to add emojis, add final polish, adjust the reading level, and adjust the length. Then you can download it as a PDF, a Word document, or a Markdown. That way it retains the formatting. It's the only way I use ChatGPT for anything writing related, but it doesn't stop at writing. You can use it to build mini apps, interactive dashboards, and automations that can get hours of work done. But I'll save that for the next one. Follow for that.
So yeah, that was something I just started figuring out on my own more recently. And then somebody had a video like his I had seen that was saying you can just ask it, like, put this in a canvas. So sometimes if I'm working, like what he was saying, I'm working on maybe some copy and I want to be able to edit it. Those steps to go find that plus and do Canvas is crazy. And I think that's why I never really used it, because it's so hard to find. And it should be like a one tap, and it's not. It's like, oh, it didn't dawn on me. I can just say, put this in Canvas. And it is great, this editable document. But here's what's interesting, and another reason why I love Magai. So Magai has been out for several years. Justin created it not too long after ChatGPT came out, and I immediately signed up not just because we're friends, but he creates really great tools and apps. So I knew it would be good, but he paid attention to the user interface, like for it to be a good experience for you. And when ChatGPT was new, it was clunky. You couldn't organize things. You just had the one long scrolling sidebar of all your chats. And it would be hard to go find past ones. And so he had folders right from the start. I'm like, oh, this is brilliant. I can organize things. And now he has the workspaces, which is the equivalent of projects. Well, he's always had what is Canvas in ChatGPT. He's had it from day one. When you're in Magai, when you're working on something, you just click a button and it opens up on the side right next to what you're in the chat. It pulls up a document, empty, and you can just put whatever, you can copy and paste, because what a lot of us would do is, oh, this is great info. Let me go make into a Google Doc or a Word doc. You got to go open up that other thing and it's in a separate tab, and you got to do a lot of copy and pasting. It's like, well, with Magai, I just copy it and it's right there on the screen and I just move it over. But with ChatGPT Canvas, it goes even beyond that, because I can easily, like he said, I can manually make edits, or I highlight it and give it my thoughts or ask it to rewrite or whatever, and it'll do that. And it just keeps updating. And then you can go save it as a file to put elsewhere later. And so I'm just loving that feature right now. Have any of y'all ever used that? Are y'all learning new things today? Okay. Class is in session.
Yeah, I had, and checking on Gabe Leal when he stopped in and said, "Is this live?" Do you know he's a top podcaster? He's a real OGer and a StreamYard user, but he stopped by my profile today. So I just want to say thanks, Gabe. And the gal from YouTube is the same. Haven't seen these people in years. They're coming out of the woodwork.
That's awesome.
I think they're coming out because of the fact that there's so much podcasting going on.
Yeah,
because that's
podcasting
initially
is
what brought us together. And now
yeah.
we can use this application because we worked on them and developing it. They have the best sound options. And so the podcasters are back in full force. So,
Yeah.
sorry, just reminiscing. It is Thursday.
I've got one more video to show you all, a video with a prompt tricks for better answers. I know sometimes when I'm having a discussion with ChatGPT, I'm not quite getting what I want. And sometimes little things you add into your prompt can make such a huge difference. So I really, one of my favorite people to follow, her name is Sabrina Romanov, and she is brilliant with all this stuff. So she has a video I think you might find helpful on this with some really good ideas.
If your ChatGPT answers are generic, you're wasting hours and getting worse results than everyone else. And it's your fault, not ChatGPT's. This one sentence fixes it, and I'll prove it in 10 seconds. But first, hit follow and save this video. First, try typing your normal prompt, then add this at the end. Before answering, ask me 3 clarifying questions to make sure you understand. Without that line, ChatGPT will give you the same bland, glazed advice everyone gets. But when you ask that line, ChatGPT will ask you about your budget, your audience, your goals, your business, and then the output becomes really, really specific to you. And this works for your cover letters, for your resume, for your business strategy, for your content marketing, everything. And here's the more advanced version. Add this to the end. Ask me questions one at a time until you're 95% confident you can help. Now it'll interview you, and the final answer is going to be 10x better. Just try it right now, whatever you're working on, and hit follow for more ChatGPT.
Isn't that great advice? I love that advice. Little things that, I mean, I don't ever think of doing those things until somebody points it out. I'm like, oh, what a great idea.
Yeah.
That's good.
I've often asked it to, are you sure you know what I want?
Right.
And it will spit back what I want first, and then I can edit or change it if it's not quite on target. And that has helped. It's tuned it in.
I think you're right. And really, because just like I was sharing about when I come in and I say, oh, I'm on my 3rd cup of coffee or my 2nd cup, or, someone's bugging me on Facebook today or whatever, it does take all of that into account. And so sometimes I really get out there, I'm sure you can imagine, when I'm deep in a project, and then it will give me, I'll say, I think I'm going to take a break. And it will come back to what it was that was bugging me on Facebook or whatever, reminding me how important it was to stay focused.
Right.
Like having your personal coach. So
yeah, sometimes I feel like with ChatGPT, I'm just like going in circles. Like it's not like I feel like it should understand me more and know me more after using it for so long. But those ideas that she just threw in is like, oh, that we have to remind her. Like sometimes I forget. Like you feel like you're just conversing with a person. Like I just have to remind myself I'm dealing with an AI, and it's great with what it does, but it has its limitations, and it's not a mind reader. Right. So by prompting more specifics, I just like to hey, Chad, I have a quick question. Hey, Madeline. Okay. What can I do for you? And I do it so much like just
casually,
a regular, yes, a casual, regular, and through it, then because for me, how I've always been is many times I'll have an idea in my head and I'll put it out there, but also through the process of talking and brainstorming it with someone, then I think of more things and more things, more things. So that's how I just kind of organically do my approach many times is I'll relay like some ideas that I have, and then I just keep formulating and then if it doesn't understand, I'm like, no, let me explain better. And because she's right in that video, it's us. A lot of times it's us. We got to like prompt it as best as possible. But I like how it's like, ask me 3 clarifying questions. I mean, just so little simple things that I just don't always think to do.
Yep.
So I'm going to be better.
I think Jim's going to be leaving us pretty soon, aren't you, Jim?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to jump in a couple minutes. Yeah.
And Jim, I love your Substack. You made a little video on live streaming through Substack, which is awesome. You're so great with all of that stuff.
Well, and so, real quick too, the thumbnails have completely changed because of Nano Banana. I made that with Nano Banana, that thumbnail.
That's cool.
And what was funny is it was originally an iMac, and I told it change it to a laptop.
For
for the thumbnail on that article.
Let me pull up your page real quick.
Very good.
So this one right here.
Yes.
Your new one.
Substack,
So you created that thumbnail
great.
in Nano Banana?
Yep.
That is really, when I saw this yesterday, I mean, I saw it in multiple places you posted it. I'm like, that thumbnail really stood out. And that's why it's important to have good thumbnails, because look at how it just draws you in. And when you're in a feed and it's busy, things like that will make you like pause, I think. It does for me.
Yep.
It's excellent.
So it had like some other things at the bottom. There was like, it had like a micro, and I said, take all that out, right? It was like, I didn't want it to be too busy. So it was like, and then it took my picture, right? And it made me point, right? At least I don't have 6 fingers. But, but it's all those little things, like you said. And even the fact that it put me in the camera on the laptop.
Right.
Yeah, that's incredible. Exceptional.
The technology has come so far. Like, just imagine a year ago when you would try to create something like this, it would always spell things wrong. It could never get it right. It was so frustrating. A lot of the images and thumbnails I just do it like right inside of ChatGPT, or I go and do it through Nano Banana. But because I have Magai, I got all of those, and I can just play with different ones and try different things. And I love all the flexibility, because with my tech stack, as I have two AI tools, ChatGPT Plus, which is $20 a month, and Magai, I pay $20 a month, and I just have the best of all the worlds of AI.
And even like it used the Substack colors. If you notice at the very top of the laptop screen, you can see the little Substack logo. Yeah. That was all it. It was not me. And part of it was going into the whole, create me it was a kind of like a thumbnail that's going to catch people's attention. And so, and I got some of that from some of the videos you've shared in your AI school group that, about how to make it pick a good thumbnail.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can I just share a message that I just got? I post every Wednesday, and I've been doing some Substack tips on Substack. And one of the guys just said, thank you so much. I used your articles to help train my writing skills in Claude.
Right.
Wow.
I was like, okay, that's interesting.
That is
actually
awesome.
That's a great tip.
I hadn't even thought of doing that.
Yeah, right. I love that.
That's great. I love seeing everybody doing so great with Substack. It just reminds me I need to go spend more time on it, which I will.
Right, me too.
I know I keep saying that. I sound like a broken record. So if anybody wants to follow Rachel over there, great information. Have her stuff on screen. Your posts are always so good.
Thank you. And I actually am trending right now on Rising in Education. So that's
nice.
Cool. It's up at the very top in red.
Oh yeah, right here. Look at that. Number 46, Rising in Education.
Wow.
Congrats. That's amazing. I love it.
I think that's the highest I've hit. I've hit that list about 8 times now since I put education as my first publication category. So that's my advice to everybody. I read somewhere on some very small little Substack to put your preferred category in the first position of your publications. Look at the murder mittens.
The murder mittens. That's great. I love your posts with Pip on there, but you've got such a great feed on here. I love it. Look at that. He is so adorable. Look at that face. He's so like I said, he's so photogenic. I gotta like that. Wow.
Thank you.
Well, you have a really, you and Jim are so good with y'all's feeds. I mean, if anybody wants to learn how to utilize Substack, follow the two of them, because the way they do their feed, that's the activity, and the way they do their posts, which are, like a newsletter or article, y'all both do an amazing job with it. I always learn a lot from watching how y'all are doing it.
I just learned about sections, so I might be writing a post about that. So you can add sections to your toolbar like a regular website. So I created a section just called Substack Tips. And so people can, if they want, they can subscribe just to Substack Tips or to my overall newsletter. So it's kind of interesting because I figure a lot of people just want to learn Substack. Like that's all they want to know. So instead of having to go through,
I see it. Let me pull this up and show it. Yeah, I see it.
I just learned how to do this.
See, I want to learn more about, because I like how you can basically turn it into a website like Jim does.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So we're on, pull it up. We're on Rachel's, on her. I mean, yeah, it looks like a website.
This is called your publication view right here.
Yeah, like all your articles, posts, but at the top, look at that. You got this whole navigation. It's a website. So you got right here, Substack Tips. That's brilliant. I love that you did that. Is it just categorizing? How does that work inside of Substack?
Yeah, I just, it creates another drop-down window. So when you write your post, you say, which one does this go under?
Gotcha.
The other thing I learned though, is let's say 20 people have signed up for Substack Tips and I have 12,000 subscribers. The best thing to do is to have it be part of your overall publication when you send it out. And then you can put it into a Substack Tips so that everybody gets everything.
I love this. Wait, leaderboard, is that new?
That's been there. I don't even know a way. That's the leaderboard that
not
just
seen that before. Wow.
Who is referring people to me.
How interesting. And you can totally edit the about page. So I've done that on mine, because you can put whatever. I mean, this is literally for free, y'all. You can make a website for yourself using Substack.
I need to
totally free.
Yeah.
I'm there, but I haven't got it figured out. I mean, why should I go back? I just wish, Rachel, that I had found you 30 years ago.
Just go to her Substack Tips. She has a bunch
but
of
it's
articles.
not that. She works with authors and that, and I just was reunited with a best-selling author from the 80s, and I don't. It is amazing, because was my role online, was to round up the authors in the traditional publishing environment, when they brought them online. And of course, Amazon changed everything. I mean, talk about moving the cheese. And I just in the short time that I have subscribed to your Substack, it's like, where were you? I love,
thank you.
You approach things with common sense and logic, and that is, prime in my book. Is
thank you.
Just
I just figure thank you so much, Barb. I just figure if it's not practical, I'm not going to share it. And if it's super complicated, people are going to just phase out.
Right. Exactly.
So sections took a little bit of time to create, and I think most people would tune out. So I don't know. I may just write a note about it. I don't know that I'm going to write a whole big long post, because if you're not on Substack, why do you care? So I can't just write about Substack all the time, right?
Right. But you guys sent me to Substack. Do you think that talking about writing about what I'm doing to reduce my domain inventory would be of value to people? Well, the fact is, I mean, I've literally, I don't know if you all know this, but this is an important day in history. It was on March the 12th, 1989, when Tim Berners-Lee put the project together. He actually announced the project. There were 3 different times actually in my life. I was there. It was the, part of my life story, but that's what opened up the world, so we all could be here together today. And so I have collected over 100 some domains in my journey online. And so much of it was because of, speaking engagements and talking to schools and media professionals, just all about it. And it's like, well, you can get on the internet because you need to have that space. And now that we're moving to Substack, you still need the domain for marketing because it would link it to your Substack. And so they would have your brand, your destination coming in there. But I really am it's like one more thing, starting one more thing. I just not so sure I could do that. But I do have to take care of those domains, because all of those automated the tools that they have now, and plus they've invoked AI, so that the AI can help you. And like, I use those different tools, and I thought people don't realize how valuable it is to grab things. I mean, I have I've already sold some in the 5-figure range, but I have, when you take that times 100 in the 5-figure range, that's a big deal. But I have a couple of them that are in the 6-figure range, according to that. So I don't know. But I think that I could focus on getting, the journey and being there, that it would be of value to people. But maybe not. Maybe it's just too trivial for everybody.
I would do. Your largest audience is on Facebook, right?
My largest
community, like people. If you were just wanting to do a post, where do you have the best reach?
Currently, yes, it's on Facebook. Maury, dragged me there, but the reason is we had. The community is the people, but the tools the community uses, that's the technology. And Facebook had, the best technology. And now they're just, it's like with what they're doing with AI, it's everything they do, they want to break the platform. So
I know, but here's the thing, bottom line, when we look at the bottom line here, like, I've had Facebook forever. A lot of us have. If I want to pick one place where I could just reach my people, and being that I've been building online communities for 30 years, I love when I go to Facebook, even though as much as I dread Facebook and I don't like it like I used to, it is still so valuable. Like, when I make these little videos while I'm walking my dog, I get great engagement on my old Facebook profile that's been around a long time, and I get great feedback from it. I'll still post some of these videos all over my social media, but I get such great feedback, and I see all these people I've known in the last 30 years from all the different communities I've built. And it is so freaking cool for me when I especially when, since I'm so immersed in AI and I post, AI stuff, or even right now, we're live streaming, and right now it is on my Facebook. And, some of my long lost friends from my old music community from 30 years ago will like or comment. I'm like, it's so cool that I still have that reach on Facebook that I don't really see elsewhere like I used to. And so I would go where you feel like you still have some reach with just the people that know you and love you. And it's probably Facebook. And I would just put some posts and just kind of engage the interest on that and see where that goes.
Yeah.
That's what I would try, Barb.
And if I could just add, usually I'm probably managing about 8 accounts, Substack accounts for people right now. And most of my clients only write once a month. So once a month feels very manageable. I do weekly. Some people do 3 or 4 times a day. It's like, I don't see it as that intensive of an effort, maybe because I don't have that kind of time. But I feel like if you start out once a month, one guy is every 3 weeks. Like, it depends on what works for your schedule. And you don't have to recreate or create all new things. You can take something you wrote somewhere else and put it into a note. It's just, you have to understand the difference between the publication and notes.
Took me a while to figure that out on Substack.
Yeah.
It's confusing, and then all of a sudden one day it all makes sense.
Yep.
It's a light bulb that goes off. And Rachel, you and Jim, especially you, were very helpful in explaining it here on this live stream, in the past year or so, where we've done some deep dives. And it's like, I get it now. It's so bizarre how you just don't get it till you get it.
Yeah.
And I kept saying to myself, why do I not get this? And I'm in like, usually
Yeah.
I'm faster with stuff like that because I'm so techie. And I'm like, I don't get it. And then one day light bulb goes off. I'm like,
That was it.
You look at Substack a whole different way once you understand.
Thanks, Rachel, for your input, because it definitely was a light bulb moment. I could
Yeah.
definitely see that.
Absolutely. And go through the tips, because it tells you how to set up your publication and how to pick your categories. And those are the things most people never do. And so there's no metadata to get scraped. And so you just won't ever rank. And if you don't care, that's fine. If you just want a place to write. But for most of us, we're business people. We want a call to action. We want to direct people somewhere.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
This is always such a great chat. I just love doing this with y'all each week. And
It's
just
really
hanging
fun.
out, having discussions, learning from each other. I always learn so much from you all, and appreciate all the people here live with us. We're broadcasting all over the interwebs, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X. If Bez was here, we'd be on his Twitch, but we haven't seen him in a while. So hopefully everybody
I wonder
else
if we could connect Substack.
Jim has experimented with that. I just need him to walk me. I think he has some stuff on his Substack walking through, but I need to I want to try it because you can get here in StreamYard. I should be able to get the RTMP, get that. And I mean, it's such a hassle when you have to go that route instead of just clicking like, okay, now it's been added.
I also think you need to the thing that StreamYard offers, and they have done, it's been improved, is being able to have a permanent URL for a particular show. And then that way you don't have, it's like if we're live with Madeline, we go to that link always.
Gotcha.
And it makes it easy to refer people to it. And especially because, God, Rachel, I'm just so happy I found you. But that moment there, because you brought her into my world, Madeline, and
I bring all the cool people together. I don't know how. I don't know how in these 30 years, but when I step back and look at these 30 years, it is wild. The people that I bring together, because I just want to talk about something. It's like, who else is interested? Come on over here. And I love that y'all met through this. It's so cool.
But I really think that Rachel's input today really was the magic.
Gold star for you, Rachel.
Yeah. You get a gold star. And I'll look at it differently now. So
yeah.
It's been a great hour, ladies. I've learned a lot. And
I have to run. Thank you so much.
Good to see you, Rachel.
Bye.
Great seeing y'all. We'll see you next time. Cindy Lou, I'm so glad you were able to come join us.
Yes.
We've missed you
again.
Yeah.
I will come again.
Okay. Don't ever feel like you have to. It's a very early morning, but we always love you.
I was up anyway, so.
Cool.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, it's great catching up with you, and good luck with all this stuff you're working on. Can't wait to hear more the next time you're able to join us. And Barb, thank you for all your feedback as always. And we'll be back next Thursday. Hang out again. You can catch the replay wherever you're watching this right now. The replay will be available in just a moment. So we will see y'all soon. Have a great rest of your day.